Post-retirement.
It's good to be back. Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. It was my plan to win the fight with Weili Zhang in Singapore and fight on this card, but it's good to be just a guest, the guest, and do whatever I want to do, and enjoy the city and the fight week, from the different perspective.
Is it a little less stressful, I'm assuming, or is it like, oh, I kind of wish that I was in there this weekend?
Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's difficult. I made a decision. I made a statement, but moments like this and places like this make me come back sometimes. Like I have the feeling, but not.
And I mean, how happy are you that you can still be involved in some capacity? Like sometimes we see fighters retire and then we don't really hear from them, or maybe they'll come back as a coach a couple years later. But for you, it seems like you've still been pretty involved with the UFC, and they're obviously bringing you up.
Very much. I hope they will keep on bringing me to the events, but I will be always around. I'm a very loyal person to all the people I have been working with. And I'm super happy to be part of the UFC, and I'm looking forward to do even more. But I feel like I need to find what I would love to do with the UFC and where they see me placing.
Is there any ideas you have about that?
No, I want to be a manager, and I want to take care of the fighters, and I'm planning to learn more about and maybe go through this direction more.
Yeah, and is that pretty much, I was going to ask you how the retirement life is going. Is that just trying to find those things to channel your energy to?
I don't have to, because I don't sleep home. And mid of January, I left Poland to Florida, where I was preparing for my fight with Weili Zhang. And it took 5 months. And after I got back home from Singapore, I slept home maybe 3 weeks. I'm that busy. And but I'm happy. I'm kind of happy. And I run so many projects, so many businesses, so many things. So much is going on around, and that's good.
Yeah, and this is a good card for you to come out to, because the co-main event, obviously, two women you're very familiar with. Can you kind of talk to me about this fight and just your perspective and break it down a little bit?
I don't like to predict the fights, but definitely Weili Zhang in the first round. She's so strong physically and mentally as well, and I feel that she's going to be the strawweight champion again soon, this Saturday.
And last one from me, I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday. Carla Esparza was booed pretty heavily by the fans. Just kind of, what are your do you think that maybe that people are being a little bit too hard on her about how that last fight went?
Yeah, she's the champ, and she deserves the respect, and all the attention. But it's not only about being the best athlete. It's also about your character, if people see charisma in you or not, If I was becoming the strawweight champion for the second time, I would get bigger, I would double the amount of my followers, money, contracts, and everything, And it looks like for Carla, Esparza is enough, And it's okay. We have to respect that. But she's the champ, so she deserves all the respect right now,
Joanna, over here. I spoke with Jan Blachowicz a couple months ago, and he said he's 100% certain that if the UFC went back to Poland for a stadium show, that you would come out of retirement.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel that I should give one more fight. I should do the last dance for fans, because we had no time. I was not prepared, and they were not prepared to say goodbye. So, and like I said, it was the best camp in my fighting career. The last camp was the best camp, and I was in such a good shape. But yeah.
Looking at the main event on Saturday, you're in the kind of similar position as Israel, when you fought Valentina, you had 2 fights against her in your Muay Thai times, and Israel's obviously lost to Alex Bejeda twice. So what do you, is the approach different going into a title fight in the UFC knowing you'd fought twice before in a previous sport?
I feel like there's lots of pressure on Israel, but he's the champ. But I feel that he's totally different fighter and a man right now than he used to be. So Pereira is going to face totally different opponent on Saturday. I'm not worrying about.
And then finally, Saturday's also going to be Frankie Edgar's last fight. Do you have any memories of Frankie? Were you a fan of his coming up, both in and out of the octagon?
Yeah, always super happy, super powerful and charismatic, but super calm and nice guy. So I'm happy for him, you know. I'm happy for him that he's going to do the last dance in his hood somehow, you know. He's from New Jersey, yeah? Yeah, so, yeah.
Joanna.
Close by, thanks.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Joanna, so if you won your last fight,
I would be fighting on this card.
Was it just going to be like just keep rolling dice until you finally lose, and then you would have retired, or you just
no, probably not. Probably not. You know, I'm not scared of losing. I'm scared of losing by knockout. You know, I want to stay healthy. I want to stay healthy, and there's a thin line. You know, I didn't want to cross. I don't wanna. Yeah.
I asked this to Frankie yesterday, talking about his retirement. I want to ask the same to you. When I talk to my children and my grandchildren 20, 30 years from now, and they ask me about you, what do you want me to say about you?
I ask you, what would you tell about me?
Okay, that's going to fill up to my next question. I'd say an absolute killer. And it's going to go to my next question.
Yeah, you know, some people, they, like, for example, like, I love Jan. He's like my brother, but when he won the belt, all the MMA media were saying that the best moment in Polish MMA history. What the heck? I was defending my belt 5 times, you know. I was the first one, and you know, I love Jan, and for me he's one of the greatest, but you know, that's the thing. I don't want people to forget about who I was and what I did for the women's MMA, you know. That's it. But
when I think about your career, I think about when you first showed up on the UFC, you had this edge where it seemed like you wanted to murder anybody who even thought they could challenge you. But at the end of your career, when you faced off opponents, you were shaking their hands, you were smiling. Like, why was that change? Like, why did the attitude change?
I don't know. It just came naturally, you know. I don't know. I was less violent, maybe. I don't know. That's difficult, you know. But some people they were happy with. There were people who were hating on from the beginning. But I was always myself, you know. I was always doing my things. So that's it, you know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Joanna, over here.
Oh, she was first. So sorry.
Thank you.
She was before. So sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Carolina spoke a while ago about her move to ATT and that you helped her with that move over. Can you talk a little bit about your help with Carolina? And it seemed like it meant a lot to her to have you, you know, helping her along.
Yeah, I'm happy to support fighters in general, but female fighters, especially from Poland. And I wanted her to move to ATT before her fight with Juliana Pena. What's her name? Pena. She lost too. So I wanted her to move to ATT, but she needed more time. But very happy that she found her place at American Top Team, and I knew that it was going to be her second home. And she's happy. I'm looking forward for Carolina's victory on Saturday.
I was going to say, how do you think she does in there? Obviously,
It's not going to be an easy fight, and but I really believe in Carolina.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Joanna, over here. Oh, right over here.
Oh yeah.
Hi, how are you? From one Polish person to another, I want to thank you for everything you've done in the sport, both kickboxing and mixed martial arts, and also putting Polish mixed martial arts on the map. So one question for the upcoming female MMA fighters, you know, you already been through the process. What advice would you give them?
Just get as much as they can from every fight, every moment, from every exposure, and I always give a lot and I take as much as I can, but I wish I was this smart as I am today, 5 years ago, or when I was the champion, I would make even more money. I would do more, but that time I felt like I was doing, enough, and I was getting enough. But I heard it from some champion that day, like they told me, like, get as much from this moment, because when you will lose the belt, people will somehow forget about you. And I will give the same advice, get as much as you can from this moment, because it's not that, because you can't be the champ forever, and that's the thing. That's the thing. But I'm happy, with the belt, without the belt. I was always super happy, very dedicated, and I'm working a lot, making enough money till now, and that's the good thing about it, But it's all about working hard, and not only willing to work, but working, putting in actual work.
Absolutely. You're a bona fide legend, and congratulations on your retirement.
You mentioned earlier you were going into the management business, and you're talking about some of the other stuff advice for young fighters. What is the worst advice or decision that your manager, maybe early in your career, maybe in kickboxing, one of your managers ever had for you that you wish you'd never listened to?
That I shouldn't be fighting some fighter. I remember when I faced, when I've got an offer to fight Rosie Sexton, the former UFC fighter, before Cage Warriors. Before I got into the UFC, they told me, my manager at that time and my coaches, they were like, no, it's not a good idea. You can lose the fight. You are not going to get into the UFC. And I told them that, guys, I'm taking this fight, I'm winning, and I'm getting into the UFC. And it happened, So the most important thing is to believe in yourself and be surrounded by people who are believing in you as well.
Hi, Joanna, over here. Long time no see. Outside of retirement, what have you been doing? What are some of the funnest things that you've been doing? I know you love to travel. What are some of the best places you've been to this year?
Ooh, I don't know. I visited 10 countries this year already. So I keep on busy, but I launched my supplement company, my labs. We are under USADA. We can't take all the supplements. Most of them are very dirty, and so I want to keep really clean and pure formulas and dedicated for athletes and people in general. But I run so many projects, and it's good that I finally opened my foundation, so it's my next goal to help even more kids and teenagers, becoming who they want to be in their lives. Mm-hmm. That's the funniest part of my life right now.
Awesome. And living a very adventurous lifestyle, do you think we're ever going to see a TV show about yourself, you doing, your things, going places? Do you think we'll ever see a TV show about you?
Yeah, I have a plan to have my own TV program. There is a documentary about me on HBO in Europe, and but I want to do Dakar race in 2 years, so I'm really challenging myself in racing. I'm a driver. A month ago I did my second race. I got the pro license, so I can't wait. I need to stay disciplined, so I can't wait to get on schedule and race even more, learn and do the Dakar race in 2 years. It's really big challenge, one of the biggest in my life. And very dangerous as well.
And last question for you. A lot of fighters are excited to be fighting at MSG this weekend. What could you take away from your first experience fighting at MSG back in 2016 at UFC 205?
And 2017, it's a mecca, It's a place to be and fight, and my biggest dream became true, and it's super exciting. You feel all the ghosts, from different fighters and just people who were performing in the arena, it's good. It's just good.
Thank you. Have a good time in New York.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, Joanna over here. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Are you still training, or are you just completely out the game and you focus on the businesses now?
I do. If not racing, I would do ADCC in 2 years, but I'm pretty busy, so I do training every day, tennis or cardio or different sports. I haven't done any boxing or Muay Thai since my last camp. I do some jiu-jitsu training once in a while, but that's it. But I do training every day. I know I want to be chubby, so I need to train, you know.
Exactly, and mentally too. Do you think it affects you? Like, is your mental not as sharp if you're not training? And just kind of.
Yeah, I need it. You know, since I was a little girl, I was always very active, so I need sport in my life on daily basis.
Good to see you out here.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.